Hello, welcome back to Let's Build the, what was this originally, the 200 subscriber special, I think? And here I am about to get 350, but today I'm just going to, since I don't know why I can't call off the attack that these guys are doing, I'm basically just going to formalize their attack on the carrier battle group here. So let's, if I go to the mission editor, I think. How do I want to do this? I suppose we'll add. I probably should have looked this up, but I've been okay, task pool or package. Probably a task pool, right? PLAN. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to add. Do these submarines have? They do have cruise missiles. Okay. So we're just going to throw all these guys into the task pool. And then now we are going to add a package. We'll call it First Strike. And it will be Alien Anti-Surface Warfare, Parent Pool, PLAN. Time on target. This is what I want. Let's set a time on target of 6:30. It's the excuse me. The scenario time is is this local time or Zulu time? Clear. Okay, so it's using Zulu time. It looks like, so that's fair. So actually 5:30 might be okay. Let's go for 4:30. Or 3:30 first. So we will assign excuse me, all of these. The target list is going to be the selected map units. EMCOM, escort. So in theory, and if I say this is triggered, ship submarine settings, group size, doesn't matter. Escort, doesn't matter. I don't really care about any of the emissions control. So, in theory, that should override. Alright, let's save so I can undo that if needed. Now, in theory, that should override this, and it's not. Why is he firing? Okay, what about these guys? These guys aren't even in range yet. Likewise, their mission. Alright, so let's reload. Oh, hey, I just noticed there's an autosave functionality. Okay. I'm not going to bother since it keeps resetting the sides anyways. All right, formation editor. What the hell is going on? You are on first strike. They're all on the first strike mission. I assume these guys are also on first strike. Can I just... Okay, I can move the whole group. Alright, we can just delete these waypoints. There we go. Oh, that's interesting. It looks like they automatically rotate to follow their waypoints. We will redraw these. Actually, let me redraw that one more time. Oh, that is such a useful feature. Okay, you're a little too close there. But, oh, they're so spread out. Okay. I guess you're gonna approach from that way then. Because I don't feel like reassigning all the stations likewise. Boom. Oh, that is so nice. Alright, so what I will do now is let's go into the editor. At the very least, I hope now that everything kind of fires at once. What am I doing here? One thing I do want to do is quick. There, everyone should be aligned there. Everyone should be aligned there. I don't know why the submarine comms are still out for them. I changed that scenario. You know what? I will. Even though it's just going to reset the next time I reload for whatever reason. We'll do that. And I remember what I was going to do now, and that is mission editor. I'm just going to delete the this mission and delete that mission. So now, hopefully, it's an under scenario editor, but okay, you know what? Maybe I can do another mission editor, PLAN. There we go. So now everyone should be on the same page. They're on first strike. They're all tasked on mission. So they don't say anything about imminent missile strikes, but I guess we'll find out. All right, so let's save there. Okay. So, yep, that's expected. They should all not necessarily launch at once, but launch. They should be launching so their missiles all arrive at the same time. That's the idea behind this. Yeah, they're all engaged offensive now. I still see only the one. Are these... The submarines are coming up to the surface. I think these guys are reorienting themselves. So let's speed up time. Might be that one chip is just bugged and I gotta delete them and remake them, which not the end of the world. But the missiles are supposed to land in an hour. I think he's... What is this engaging? Skunk 119. Which... Is it... Yeah, he's engaging an unknown rather than a hostile target. So I don't know what his deal is. Everyone else is, you know, not being stupid. Alright. So these guys are probably at launch depth or just about. Now these two should be the last to attack if that... I did trigger that mission, right? Let's go to the... Probably the operation planner now. Because first strike, it's triggered, it's activated. All 23 units are mobilized and assigned. So that's the carrier launching their AWACS, which I'm going to have to edit that mission so we don't have 2 helicopters, maybe. 3 just seems a little excessive, especially when they're going to follow each other so closely, you know. These guys are also at what I presume is something resembling periscope depth. Okay, since there's no immediate launch, I assuming they're just waiting to... All right, let's go. Flame on. I want to see how long it takes for them to make their launch. Oh, these are the excuse me, AWACS. So it's been about 15 minutes now. So we can see on an immediate launch, it's so these missiles should take only 50 minutes to get there. So let's reload. Sides, posture, unfriendly. And then we will switch to Chinese mission editor. PLAN first strike. Target time. Let's say, oops. Okay, 024500. And now we should be able to save once again. And play. Yep, we have our immediate launch that we expect from him. Everyone else should launch. Like, these guys probably won't launch right away, but the rest of this task group should launch. Are those launches? No, not yet. Oh, there they go. Yeah, there they go. So now the rest of the task group is following when they can. So now this is something we should be able to watch. So let us go to the 3D view. All right. And I'm just curious from the Navy side what they're gonna see. So they're on their merry way. Nothing to see here. We will bump up the time compression to 15x. Oh, they don't even see anything right now. I think their sensors are all active. Yeah. They have active sensors. So I'm kind of surprised they don't see those battle groups that are like almost right on top of them within 100 miles. But that's why the radar horizon is so important, and why having an eye in the sky is so important, because you can't see beyond that radar horizon. It doesn't matter how powerful your radar is, unless it's designed to, use some funky geometry stuff and bounce waves off the atmosphere, in which case you can get an idea of what's beyond your battle group, but you won't know for sure where they are because it's pretty inaccurate generally. Woo. Okay, so those are the helicopters taking off. And hey, CI 1 and 2 are taking off. Their sensors are... I'm going to turn them on manually because I think there's still... Okay, so this mission is working again. I don't know why it wasn't working the last time we checked it, but... So... Oh. Now that they're getting airborne, they're starting to see the emissions. Okay, so they're getting a lockdown on the Super Frelons. And now we can see the battle groups. And these guys aren't even that high either. They're 6,000 feet. And as they increase in altitude, the radar range will also increase. So we can basically see a ship-sized target out to 150 miles already. Once they maybe double in altitude, we might be able to see a missile-sized target that far. Maybe. We know they're somewhere in this area. There we go. Oh, what? What the? Oh, that's... I'm sorry, what? Where are you? Where are you? What? That's gotta be... I think that's just our emissions. Yeah, they're all coming from this satellite, so I think that's bugged. I will do a check afterwards just to make sure that it didn't, for whatever reason, there aren't units spawn in the middle of nowhere. So we are going to close and resume for now. Close and resume. Offensive ECM engaged. So now what we can do... Yes. Is, Shit, that's not what I wanted. I wanted a manual. Don't want the vampire. Remove selected targets from the list. Remove selected unit and remove the selected unit. So all of these targets, we are going to fire. We are going to assign be selected by anyone to anyone. Allocate all weapons of this type. So now we can allocate all of the long-range anti-ship missiles, which is probably a little overkill, but this will provide us immediate retaliation. There we go. I might have to adjust the pop-up options. Oop. That's not what I wanted. Alright, playback isn't synchronized. Just so this stops popping up. New weapon contact. There we go. So now that won't pop up anymore. But now we can see if you were standing on the carrier, just all these missiles starting to fly everywhere. And now the battle group, what we can also do too, and what, oops, my bad, I didn't realize this got minimized. And you can see they automatically use waypoints, so all the missiles should generally pop in at around the same time, but they're coming from different directions to make them harder to track and intercept. So that means the missiles from the main battle group are probably not too far off. If these guys are launching, these guys are a little closer, so they'll probably start launching any second. Oh, did our subs launch too? I think our subs launched. That's kind of cool. Yeah, they're still throwing missiles in the air, which they should be equally divided between each target. So this will be this is going to be a lot of contacts for their for them to maintain. Meanwhile, the Hawkeyes should be providing weapons targeting. We can actually see like for over the horizon stuff, and I think if we see if we go, oh, there is a layer. I gotta find it. Here, map settings. Targeting data links. I'll just put it to the selected unit. Yep, there you go. You can see the Hawkeye is actually guiding some of these SAMs to their targets, and you can see here the targets that it's guiding them to. Likewise, this guy is from the Northern Seahawk, and that's going to be limited based on the number of channels that the data link supports, but still you can see how so in this case there's definitely a reason for the US to have multiple AWACSs up, because, you know, not just as a backup, but because they can do this sort of over the horizon targeting with multiple data links. All right, oh yep, there we go, there's the Chinese carrier battle group. So this will be a nice test to see how well the U.S. fares against the first round. So this is going to be like stage 1 of the battle, and then I think that should basically leave me free to. At that point, the U.S. is going to start turning tail and opening up the distance. They're also going to do retaliation strikes with Tomahawks, which will not stop the first wave of Chinese aircraft being launched. They might be able, like Woody Island, and they might be able to hit the Hainan Island and Woody Island bases before they launch all their aircraft, but I consider it unlikely, especially since I'm going to have the Chinese launching right away. So the oh wow, the simulation is really chugging here. That's fine. It's a lot. We put in like 200 contacts probably easily, so I'm not surprised that it's chugging. So you can see, ooh, we're okay. Those are ERAMs. I was gonna say I thought those were enhanced sea sparrows. It's like, they're in range. That's a smarter choice, because obviously the SM6 is a much higher capability. But I did put range limitations on enhanced sea sparrow missiles, and you'll see these. Unfortunately, even with the immediate retaliation that our carrier battle group has launched, even the last Chinese attack group is still able to get off their attack, because the long-range anti-ship missiles will not be anywhere close to their target for another. Does it give me a time estimate? It does not, but they're traveling at about Mach 1, and they're about 40 miles out, so you know it's going to be a couple minutes at the very least. Not quite Mach 1, I mean, obviously, a Mach 0.9, but still. But you'll notice that the U.S. Battle group is successfully defending itself so far. Where are these guys? Are these going? I don't know where the tomahawks are going. I do need to. You know what? That is a mission I could start if we go into the operation manager and planner. Um, triggered, 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 triggered. Yeah, these two are waiting for trigger for some reason, even though they start right away. So I'm not sure entirely what's going on there. We're gonna satisfy you. Oh, I think they had a issue there and triggered that. So these guys should, in theory, eventually they should go down. Oh, that's what's also really chugging it. It's like you look at how many. Yeah, now it's showing all the data links for the entire Enterprise battle group, and yeah, let's yeah. If I really wanted to tuck it down, all data links, but no. Close that down for now. That should run a little bit more smoothly. Uh-oh. Looks like the cruiser is cutting in front of the carrier a bit here. But okay, we do see Tomahawks being launched. But I'm worried they're taking opportunity shots at the ships and not at yeah, because they're oh, you know what? They're the submarines. Launching them apparently. Ooh, you just saw a lot of baddies. They are also only at 15,000 feet, so you can see they're slow to climb. So as they're climbing, they're going to see more too. So I think at this point, probably some of the. Ooh, they still don't have a good eye on contact types. Kind of surprising, really. Normally, a Hawkeye radar is really good at that. All right, so the submarine missiles are going to be the first. I'm going to have to edit that mission later. Probably not this episode, because at this point I'm... you know, we're just going to let it run, see what happens, and use that information to make things better next time. But once they get up to 40,000 feet, they should be able to see fairly far. And we at least... The mistake the Chinese are making by straight shooting these as opposed to using the dog legs like the Navy does is now I can backtrack all these missiles back to their carrier battle group. So that will make launching a strike, retaliation strike, a lot easier because now we know where to look from, essentially. All right, let's speed this up to 5x. We can see our battle group is down to, we look, it should be somewhere. Yeah, we still have 285 SM-6 missiles. But, okay, now they're, there we go. Now we're starting to see some Tomahawk strikes being launched. By the battle group. Not by everyone. And they're still... It looks like they're messing up the waypoint still, which I don't... EDG 168? What? Something funky is happening there. So I think I'll probably be doing... I think it's being caused by those satellites too, so I'll probably just do another satellite purge after this. Some of it's with these jammers too. They are getting deceived by the jammers. Oh, we have the 127s opening up. So at least they're being smart, somewhat smart about this stuff. not using all their ERAMs up first and then just, progressively getting weaker. It's like, okay, we're going to let some missiles through to our second layer and some through the third layer, just so that way we don't lose all our high capability stuff all at once. So I think we saw these guys don't have great hit percentages, maybe like 2%, but eh, we got plenty of rounds though. They're a lot cheaper than a missile, and if they knock a few down, then that's missiles. And you can see they do have guidance. Because these can be kind of guided onto the target. Although for all the touting that was being done of these lately, when the Navy decided to go with their hypervelocity projectiles, we can see, at least from a simulation standpoint, at least what's publicly available, they aren't doing an amazing job. Looks like they're using airburst mode, but they just aren't scoring hits that are close enough. Okay, now you see another strike there. Oh, they're still targeting that group. Yeah, I'll have to deal with those subs. But, nope. Alright, these guys are getting a little close for, a little close for comfort. They're about, what, 20 miles out now? Which, ordinarily, without the AWACS, again, this is the value of AWACS, without AWACS, this is probably the range at which they would start seeing these missiles to begin with. So these are, for the most part, a lot of people still mostly use subsonic missiles. Yes, Russia, China, India do have supersonic cruise missiles, but they aren't quite as numerous as their subsonic variety. Okay, now we're using the enhanced sea sparrow. So these guys are really efficient because if you remember from the earlier videos, we can pack 4 of these into a cell. And you'll notice that the rocket motor gives out about halfway to the target. So you can see here they are quickly losing speed, which is why I kind of put some of the range limitations on them, because they'll still be useful. And by the time they get there, there will be less. The missiles will be closer, so their speed will degrade as much. But you can see we're already subsonic. Like, you have a few seconds of viability after that booster goes out, really, and then that's it. You're kind of done for. So here we can see yeah, so if you are a fighter at that range, all you have to do is hit your afterburner and you're basically home free. And you can see their initial hit probabilities probably aren't that great because of their limited speed and maneuverability. At this point, the missiles they're targeting are probably faster than they are, because these should be going in about Mach 0.8, yeah. So now with the second batch of enhanced Sea Sparrow missiles, these should be hitting, yeah, now you can see we're starting to get hits when, now that they're close enough that there's still speed on these guys when they hit them. You can see, yeah, he's, at Mach 1, a little less than Mach 1, but it's already a lot more than what that last missile was. Now, is he going to hit? Probably not, but he's got a better shot at it. Nope, I think, maybe. Nope. The gun should have a bit higher hit probability at this rate, too. You'll notice that they stopped firing for a bit, I think because they had to reload their ready magazines. But now that they're reloaded, those are getting into the fray. And you'll notice the missile attack is rapidly being defeated. We still have the, I think, yeah, we still have the big blob of missiles heading for us. But this is probably at least a quarter of what the Chinese have to throw at us. Oh, these guys are off going somewhere, not the right place. Do I have? Oh, I do emerge range signals, but I guess, or range lines, but I guess that doesn't apply to active radar seekers. Which, I mean, I guess that makes sense, but and we can see there's one last bit from it. Oh, are these? They're still launching. I think we destroyed them. They got some more missiles out, but I don't think they launched everything they could have. Okay. Oh yeah, they're gone. They are gone. And it looks like nope, they still have the other battle group alive, but how many missiles do these guys have? ASRock U7. Okay, so these guys actually looked like they threw out everything they had. And you can see that ended up being 80 missiles between the battle group and the submarines. And we can see these guys nominally would probably have, let's see here. We go down here. So this would be, let's see here. So they've got 4 YJ-83s, and then I think each of the attack boats also have 4 missiles. So 2040, so about 100 missiles, give or take. Actually, you know what? We can let's switch back to the U.S. side, and we'll see how the rest of this plays out. But generally, I think the U.S. is doing pretty well. Because if we go to losses and expenditures here, yeah, our expenditures, we've expended almost 200 rounds of 5-inch ammunition. Excuse me. Weapons 2 cargo air. What? I don't know how that got lost or what this even is. I don't know. Maybe they unloaded Seahawk that was on. I don't know, but we have thrown out a fair number of. Really, we only threw out 20 ERAMs? That's kind of impressive. They're really saving those. So that's a good thing, you know. Otherwise, we have used 75 enhanced Sea Sparrow missiles. I think the 15 that are a different type are from the Enterprise itself and the supply ship, because I did refit those. All right, I forgot to look at the other side. Meanwhile, Chinese side has lost 4 of their attack boats, 1 frigate, 1 helicopter. They've expended, 120, 133, 143, almost 150 cruise missiles. And you can see these are lost from, stuff being sunk. But 140 cruise missiles they've launched, and so far, not one has gotten through. We'll see about this glob, and you can see our the first Tomahawks are about within range of the target group. If Okay, let's see if we can redirect these tomahawks. Because there's no need to keep them. Can I really not just assign orders to all of these? Because at least some of them have the range. Okay, these guys are beyond data link range, I think, so we can't redirect them. We can redirect you and you. Oh, fine, be that way. Okay, so I can at least pull these guys out. Yeah, these guys are beyond comms range, so they're just lost. Okay, they don't want to attack for some reason, so I guess just so they don't go to waste. Uh, I like how that you can tell them delayed chaff. Okay, they are. This one at least is targeting Woody Island. I didn't want them to target the Av gas bunker, but whatever. This guy is isolated from comms now for some reason. All right, so we got engagements happening. The looks like the Tomahawks are coming in and making short work. They're getting a lot closer than I would have thought. I might. Wow, I might have to rethink my strategy. I might be sending most of these anti-ship missiles over onto the Chinese carrier battle group with how ineffective. Like, I knew these guys didn't have much in the way of defenses, but holy shit, they're getting annihilated by Tomahawks, you know? At least they're smart, and you can see all the long-range anti-ship missiles that they have under their control, and the Tomahawks and stuff are being redirected to the enemy carrier battle group. Although I really got to make a mission for those. Well, I did have a mission for those Tomahawks, but I think I've got to activate it sooner, so that way those Tomahawks are actually allocated. Otherwise, they're using them to. Oh, you know what? I can change the weapon release authorization, so the all the multi-mission Tomahawks. I think I can change that to not target ships, and then we won't have this problem. Hooray! Okay, so these guys should be. I'm hoping that. I don't know why this guy is out of comms. Maybe, I guess, technical malfunction, we'll say. I really would like to bring him back. I don't know why this guy doesn't have aim point. Like, he's got an aim point, but he there's no like data link or anything, so I don't know what his issue is. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. All right, boom, boom, boom. All right, so these are the last 4 vampires from that group. It looks like this group, if they had anything left, I don't think they did. They ain't sending it now. All right, his close-in weapon system has engaged, and it is not enough. He is gone. So, yep, some of these remaining Tomahawks that are still within data link range have been retasked to target the the enemy group here. This is honestly going far better than I would have initially suspected. Obviously, if we go to the order of battle, will that show us? Oh, oh, okay. It does show. Oh, this is just ours, right? If we go to the Chinese side, who are actually accurately being detected now that we have Hawkeyes in there. I think last time we didn't have those Hawkeyes, but if we go to our order of battle, by type, satellite, facility, ship, aircraft. That might just be showing what's in air, which, yeah, it doesn't concern us. Now what we can do is we can test out one more thing. And if you'll remember way back when, we, is this where they are? Yes, it is. We have some ballistic missiles. So let's see how the carrier group does with that. They should be arriving roughly at the same time. Well, maybe not quite, but they should be there pretty fast. That's the TOA, Jack Lucas. It's the carrier. There it is. Okay, all weapons of this type. I think that's only one battery, though. I gotta select the other battery. Yeah. So now we can see, and this is for my own benefit, as much as this is for the scenarios, but I want to see how well they do with the new ballistic missile engagement system that they put in for the in the new updates. All right, so if we go back, yeah, they don't actually have a great position lock on us either, especially now that those first two groups are destroyed. That'll change because obviously they should be launching all their support aircraft, and I'm not messing around with that right now. You know, the thing with these scenarios is it helps to focus on, you know, with a lot of moving parts, is just focus on one part at a time. This one kind of, he's at least going the right direction. He might end up hitting Woody Island. They're not leading their shots with these very well. I will say that. Enhanced Sea Sparrow missile. You can see he's a mock. Yeah, he's not going to hit. Those follow-ups might. But now we have vampires inbound. And these guys are about 45 miles out from the battle group. I'm kind of a little surprised they haven't fired anything at them yet, but I suppose they are more focused on these. You can see the Chinese didn't do their timing too well. I don't know if that's a side proficiency thing or not, but they didn't do so well at making sure their strikes all landed at the same time. Because obviously this would have been more difficult to defend against if they were all, like, you know, roughly at the same position. And those groups launched early, although that may have been because they're like, oh no, we're close by, let's just launch. You know, like a discipline thing. Alright, so let's boost up. I'm going to drop this view just for performance. Okay, they're starting to shoot now. They just really don't want to use, how many Sea Sparrows do we have left? 200. I guess they're fine. Let's... yeah, so they're mostly missing. But I'm sure they'll get a few hits in here or there. Let's see how this guy does. Looks like he's trying to take evasive maneuvers or something. So I guess they're just reluctant to use their SM-6 missiles. Now, with the anti-ballistic missile mod, they should be... So they're coming from somewhere here. So they should be able to see... This, remember, they're they got 2 AWACS in the air. They got all their sensors on. They should be able to see the ballistic missiles coming in anytime now. All right, we got Sea Sparrows coming in. They might just be engaging these smart, too. Like, these missiles here might not be a threat even, just because they are so far off target that they might not be able, and the Chinese don't have the ability to data link with them. They might not be able to redirect them unless there is no sense in using munitions on them. And that's kind of a skill issue, too, not shooting everything you see that you think might be coming for you. All right. Woo. It's getting a little hairy here. Oop. Some of them have penetrated the outer barrier of the carrier group. That is very noteworthy. All right, let's center that view. And let's see what happens. I might actually have to take some manual control here. Actually, I can't take manual control because actually, at this range, all the systems are automatic. 4 miles out. 3 miles. Let me... Oh, there's a 5-inch shell trying to... Why isn't the Sea Whiz engaging? Alright, what happened there? It didn't hit the Enterprise. You'll notice the Enterprise is safe. I can't say the same for the rest of the group. That seems to be I think they should have engaged further out, and I don't know why they didn't. Oh, the jammers got it. No. Maybe? I don't know. I wasn't looking, maybe the Phalanx did engage. Okay, the Phalanx did get it. Alright, right. Okay. It's just for a reason I didn't see it on. Whew. Now, these guys, I think, were successfully seduced. Oh, we did... One destroyer did take damage. Not much, all things considered. That's only about half of the missiles, though. And it looks like the destroyer is still up. Okay, now she's gone. So the biggest fault I see is the lack of... They're not engaging with their SM-6s, and I might remove the engagement limitations on them, because that certainly would have prevented this. I might even remove all of them. Okay, they got 3 more missiles coming for the carrier. Are these... Okay, the carrier got hit. Okay. I think there are some doctrinal issues here we can change. Okay, yep, that's expected. That they would lose some aircraft. Because I think the Navy should be able to, the battle group should at least be able to survive this first onslaught. The second onslaught, when they're already depleted, will be tough. But this one, like I've noticed, they weren't using their SM6s. Yeah, they got 42 SM6. And I don't know why they aren't using them. They've mostly thinned out the herd, though, and they should be able to take the rest of these missiles out, I hope. Although, I guess we'll see. Okay, so you haven't launched at all. I was going to say, I don't think enhanced Sea Sparrow missiles have chaff. Alright, they got that one. Alright, just this last wave. These guys might be able to not engage. I don't know what this guy thinks he's engaging. Oh, I guess he got him, though. But, yeah, now they're... Really? Now you're going to use your ERAMs on these guys after they passed you and are no longer a threat? Something is off there. Because if they use the SM6s to thin out that large... Like, the first one was fine. They were able to weather that with their enhanced Sea Sparrow missiles. But this large horde, that one, they should have used, like, 20 or 30 SM6s to thin the horde out. And they didn't. And I don't know if maybe I just need to manually do that. Be like, okay, allocate one weapon here, one weapon here. I'd like for it to be done automatically so I can focus more on observing the battle. But... Phew. Alright, so there's one missile left that's a threat to the group in any way, shape, or form. Enterprise is damaged. Let's get a damage control report. She lost 2 of her phalanxes, so yep, that's going to fuck over her self-defense. Same with her Nulkas. Her sensors are damaged. That's going to affect her ability to... She's still operating at oh, she lost her nuclear reactor, so she's dead in the water. So this mission is basically over for the American side. Yeah, they're wasting... Oh, there needs to be a way to ignore those. I mean, they were right in not focusing on them initially, and now they're, like, undoing all that. Oh, we're picking up their, the cruise missiles they have on Woody Island. But, yeah. So, there's some adjustments, because they should definitely be able to survive that first wave. Now, let's see where those ballistic missiles are. We go over to China here. China. They are coming in. They're over, they're almost over Hainan Island. Okay, so at least now we know where to look for them. Well, I know where. I'm not gonna tell the battle group where, but we can see what the initial 8 will do. Now we should have plenty of. We certainly have plenty of SM6s left, and of course SM3s. So it shouldn't be much of an issue. Actually, it might be just in time for the satellite to pick up the missiles and relay that information to the battle group. You can put supplies on a satellite. That's kind of amusing. Yeah, ammo supplies on a satellite, yeah. don't even know what these guys think they're going for anymore, but... So, like, yeah, obviously a lot of work needs to be done because, again, I am very confident the battle group can survive that first wave. And even with some of the mismanagement, it mostly did. Like, right now, they're just wasting ammunition here. Look at that. That's atrocious. If we go to the expenditures, losses and expenditures, we obviously lost basically everything on the flight deck, I think. Actually, she lost just about all her aircraft, as well as, not all of it, but a good chunk of it. And then we lost one destroyer. Man, they're just going through that 5-inch, those 5-inch guns like crazy. And then these are obviously the stores we lost when the carrier and the destroyer got hit. The Chinese ships, they obviously lost both of those small fleets and all the stores that went down with them. I will run the scenario out to see... Oh my god, just stop engaging them already. What I'll probably have to do is, as the Chinese side, if they have any sort of data link, adjust them before they get out of range. At least now they're leaving the dude alone. But still, that's crazy how much ammo they spent on that. And obviously, I think their losses would be greater too, because those Tomahawks, I don't expect all of them to come in, but wow, I'm amazed they haven't seen those missiles yet. They gotta be about here now? And they're gonna be coming down fast. You'd think the Hawkeye at least would see them, but... Now you got your radars on. And they're actually scary now, because before, as long as you had the right weapon, it was, you know, whatever's. Okay, so they're just they've got to be in their descent phase now. No, they are still pitched up. No, they're pitched down, -30. Yeah, they are accelerating. But the range is, they're maybe 350 miles away at this point. All our sensors are operating. So maybe we'll see them once they breach that outer range boundary there. Just in time to, I'm kind of curious too, our lasers apparently never got fired. And guided missiles are supposed to be a valid target. Did I even put one on the Enterprise? I don't know if I did. That might be another change I do too, because if they're going to put them on the cruisers, as we have in here, I think it's safe to say they would put them on the Enterprise. I mean, that's the reason why they... you can see only one side of the three-face Enterprise air surveillance radar is operating. But, I mean, that's kind of the point of the huge new reactors. Well, actually, they're smaller, but they produce, like, what is it, half the footprint for twice the power of a Nimitz-class reactor? So, they, there should be lasers on the Enterprise. That might have helped avoid some of the issues, too. That shouldn't make them invincible. I assume there's a recycle rate. You know, because you got to charge up the capacitors, but, Alright, so these guys are coming down at Mach 5. They should be here. Just for shits and giggles, could I actually target this, out of DLZ zone? Okay, so I cannot. Did they launch another salvo at this, or were these already in flight? Leave the fucking missile be. And we're still getting, Oh, we classified these. That's interesting. thought I deleted those, but hey, they got the missile or it disappeared, or now they can stop wasting ammo on it. Okay, I'm getting very nervous that they have not seen those ballistic missiles yet. Actually, how much intel does the Chinese side even have on us? They did just have a satellite pass over, so they should be able to, yeah, so their intel is actually pretty good. Not great, but okay. Oh, these guys didn't even launch all their missiles. They can launch another salvo. That, or they're using the torpedoes tube to launch missiles, and so didn't launch them all. But okay, so these guys are coming in at Mach 7 or Mach 6.5, and they're still accelerating. They're pitching down even more. Okay, so we go here. They should be in range, but then again, I don't know. I don't know how. Like I said, they made engaging ballistic missiles much more difficult in the update, and well, honestly, more realistic. Because before it was just like any other missile; it just you needed a special missile to engage it, and if you had that special missile to engage it and a special sensor to see it, you were fine. Whereas now, like even though these have, these are the latest state-of-the-art sensors with the anti-ballistic missile mods and stuff, and this thing is like 200 miles out, 300 miles out, and they don't even see it yet with 2 AWACS in the air. Getting nervous, actually. All right, they are coming in. It looks like we do have good intel this time on where the battle group is with the 2 AWACS airborne, so there won't be issues like last time where they were all being successfully jammed. Or like they had bad coordinates to start with and then were able to just pass on by and be lured away with jammers. So I will say, if at this point, if the Navy does, if the U.S. doesn't lose any more ships and these missiles manage to do significant damage to the Chinese battle group, that would probably be enough to call this something resembling a draw. Excuse me, not excuse me, not like a great result for the Navy, but they inflicted a lot of damage to the Chinese Navy. Granted, the U.S. Navy with the the carrier is obviously out of commission for this war, as is its air wing, but it did survive, and they only lost 1 destroyer, which 1 destroyer for, all these Chinese ships, that might be worth it. I don't know. Again, it all depends on how well this goes, and we shall see. And on if that ballistic missile attack succeeds, because again, I don't see these missiles. They're almost to the sonar range of these guys. Yeah, so they're about here now. Oh. There we go. So the Tomahawks will soften them up a bit, and then hopefully the long-range anti-ship missiles will be able to sneak on through and hit the targets. Although, again, this is all going to be reworked because I don't want the Tomahawks used for naval strike. I'd rather expend them all in hitting Chinese airfields and such. Alright, so now those ballistic missiles are probably 130 miles out, give or take, is my estimate. And they still can't see them. Alright, let's speed up the time compression a little bit. Oh, come on. How can you not see them? All right. I guess we'll view things from the Chinese perspective for a while. So they definitely see there's some Tomahawks incoming. And they are... Some have flown right past. I wonder if they're still within data link range of the... No, they aren't in data. I think these were attacked. Oh, they see him now. There. Engage all those targets. And I'm just curious. Weapon cannot engage for another 4 seconds because of ODA loops. Alright. That's fine. And we should have missiles launching any second now then. There we go. So now we see the SM3s are going into play. They don't have a lot of time. That is very interesting. They only see them coming from about 100 miles away, which when you're traveling at like Mach 12 is not a lot of time. They're up to almost Mach 10 and accelerating right now. And these SM3s are basically their only hope of defeating these. They didn't allocate all of them, did they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16. So maybe, what is it, half of what I gave the battle group? No, not quite. Maybe about a quarter, give or take. Which, if these were combined with the ballistic missiles carried by their bombers, that would definitely be an issue. Let's see how well these perform. This is definitely something where they should follow up with the SM6. If, okay, we got 1 hit, 2 hits. Three hits. 4 hits. So half of them have been destroyed. They're still launching SM3s. They're not going to have, if these don't take them down though, and they only use 5 missiles, I assume they're out of the engagement envelope now. I should see if I can change the setting to use 1. Two, 3. Looks like this one's getting through, boys. But will it hit? That's the question. If it does, what's left of the Enterprise is unfortunately going to be toast. And at this point, I don't think the simulation, like this 3D view, probably can't even keep up. If the sensors are accurate, it looks like it's going to hit fucking nothing. Is it seriously going to miss? That would be awesome. And display the problem that basically once they re-enter, oh yeah, it's out of there. Basically, once these things re-enter, there's so much plasma buildup. I don't think they can see or hear much. They're kind of blind at that point, from my understanding, at least. But yeah, 30,000 feet. It's going to be a hell of a sight, but they did it. I think they successfully defended themselves from the. And now there's no reason. Yep. Oof. Malfunctioned, detonating. So they were saved by a malfunction. And maybe they saw that it wasn't going to hit, and that's why they didn't launch as many missiles in that second wave. Now we can see the U.S. Navy counterattack happening here. Oh. Yeah, these ships are kind of just sitting there, which I don't know. They got a big speed. I guess they're just taking defensive maneuvers, but they are initiating defenses. So yeah, Zhang He class. So this is their cruiser. So these are the Tomahawks, and then back here. Oh, they're all Tomahawks. I thought we had some long-range missiles in there. Oh well. Yeah, so these would all be going. Should be all be going to the airfields, but since for at least for checking this component of the scenario, we kind of removed them. All the SM-3s are still just flying out there. All right. Yeah, so I suppose we can view this from the Chinese side. Yeah, they got a pretty good pin on their location. So they are using, these guys are supersonic. HQ-9, this is probably equivalent to SA-10, yeah. Range anti-air, technically a range of 80 nautical miles. So that's basically their equivalent of an S-300, I believe. And you'll notice it is somewhat adequately dealing with these missile threats. What does the Zhang He itself have? They should have something better than that, right? No, they just have a lot of them. I assume they'll have something better once China manages to rip off a better missile from the Russians. I don't know if they bought the S-400 or not, but also couldn't help but notice that their carrier group got dissolved somehow. That's a little annoying. So unfortunately, because this is poorly optimized, I don't think the strike is going to go well. You'll notice most of them, see, they're actually using their longer range missiles from the beginning, which I think the U.S. should have been doing. But maybe I put too harsh a range restriction on the SM-6. I honestly cannot remember what restriction I put on them, but let's see here. I think I will adjust that strike since I am only using the long-range anti-ship missiles. I think I want to divert 1 or 2 per ship for the small, like, fast attack groups. But beyond that, I want to, I think I want to save the rest of them to kind of soften up the Chinese carrier battle group. They should actually be able to get in close enough to do something. Okay, you can see they're kind of breaking up this attack here. Especially now that their missiles still have fuel. Once they're reaching some of them, they're ooh, this guy's getting in a little close. It's about their last chance to intercept them with a missile. They think it's an R-23. Firing with close-in weapon system. Ah, they got him. Got him with the 30 mil, but that would probably mean that they're, I think it might have been moving past them to try to attack the carrier. Let's check their weapons mounts. That mount might be done for now. Nope, they got 2 rounds left in that one. And that's their only mount, okay. Oh, that's their... He is out of missiles, though, completely. And they still have, That's right. They are a lot less capable than, the Navy. U.S. Navy, destroyers, so... At this point, so their lead ship is out, and their other ships are running lower, not super low, but he's down to like point defense missiles at this point. And they still got about 16 missiles to deal with here, so we'll speed things up again until they get interesting. Alright, so they redirected onto those, but they might fail because they're out of fuel. Yeah. These will probably succeed, though, because by the time they get to them, they should be just starting to run out of fuel, so they'll have higher velocity. Yep. Alright, let's see. This guy should be running pretty low now, too. Yeah, he's down to 16. He's got 31, so... Between him and the cruiser, they can probably finish covering out the last of this assault. I think it's unlikely we'll see another missile get close like that one did. And he seems to be headed for an ending there. Although he is getting a little close. If this one misses, then he's in trouble, but okay. And it didn't miss, and... Alright, they should be able to knock these last 2 down. Oh man, how embarrassing would it be for them if they couldn't? Okay, that's it. I guess at this point, what's left on the Enterprise? I'm kind of curious. I might, for shits and giggles, launch... Oh, they launched another wave of Tomahawks. Holy shit. I forgot how much those Virginias packed. Okay. Aircraft. She's got 24 aircraft left. Okay, we'll launch you as a group. These guys launch as a group. That's basically it. Waiting for runway to become available. So I guess I'll let this strike finish out. And then, but we're going to dispense with the 3D view. We're going to run fast. Alright, they're taking off now. paused again for some reason. I think it'll auto pause whenever it like can't keep up with the calculations. There we go. Group 1. ASM Hawk. Hypersonic air breathing weapon. Surface ships. Range 135 nautical miles. Alright, let's go out there. And for now, cruise max altitude. Now the next flight group should be launching. Alright. Yeah, the fact that she's capable of any operations while being as damaged as she is amazing. What is the speed on this guy? Oh. Yeah, hypersonic air-breathing weapon. Yeah, so they got a launcher from 200 feet, but... Actually, what I might end up doing... Yeah, because they do have AMRAAMs. So, Goodbye, helicopters. We can shoot those down. And actually, that should give the these missiles a better chance of success, too. Alright, so we do something like that. Let's see, are they anywhere... Okay, what if we launch you as a group? Okay, that's why. It wanted to launch them all as a group. But I think we only have 3 operational catapults, so it's like, we can't launch them all as a group. So now they should be able to... Yeah, time ready, 1 second, ready. Did it pause again? Yep. Hopefully that fixes it, otherwise I'm just going to launch them singly. Yeah, launch individually. Sick of waiting. Could be because the carrier stopped too. Sometimes with heavy loads, they'll still kind of sail into the wind or with the wind to give aircraft that extra little push. And if these aircraft with their current loadouts needed that, they wouldn't be getting it. Alright, 60, 120. So they're still out of range of the helicopters, unfortunately. So these missiles are going to... I think we will pick up the pace, though. Military thrust. Got a pretty decent combat radius. We're still 650 nautical miles range. And we're about 100 miles from the carrier already. Now, I do believe they have to carry these weapons externally. So, they will be more visible on radar, which we'll see once we switch over. Oh, that's surprising. They don't see him at all. Probably for the best. Oh, they saw something there, but I think that was just the battle group being moved around. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to give these guys orders to automatically engage these helicopters now. I will give them the freedom to prosecute the engagement as they will. They are now engaged offensive. They are not. They are currently still going quiet. But damn, we can get in real close with the F-35s. I'm actually kind of surprised. And actually, we can probably... I'm going to switch off that manual override. Okay, that didn't do what I want. I don't think they need to be afterburning, but what do I know? The one guy is so far ahead. It's like, I got him, Captain! Now, they only have 4 AMRAAMs between them. So, unfortunately, it is very possible they won't get them all, but... they are showing up, and the Chinese are engaging them. I guess the Chinese just have... If it's not friendly, shoot it. Out of do not launch range. DLC range, yeah. But they are within range of... Now, these guys should be... Well, these guys are actually still going pretty fast for as far out as we are. But whoop! So they're evading now. At the very least, they're pulling missiles away from the... Yeah, they can just drag them out, as you can see. No biggie deal there. So they did pull... That is pulling missiles away from the defense of their battle group. Not the ideal strategy. You don't want to risk manned aircraft like that normally. But I thought these guys... I might have set the engagement range for the AMRAAM to 50%, when maybe it should have been 75%. Might have been better. At least for these helicopters. I might change that. But, what we can do is we can quickly dump all of our, We can quickly dump our supersonic missiles. And now we can get back to the business of knocking these helicopters down. So that should lighten them up, too, and make it easier for them to evade missiles and stuff. Come on. RTB. No, don't RTB. Override. Target is outside horizontal forward limit. Could I plot course? There we go. I will manually pull this ship around, my friend. Okay, but first, drag and burn these, We gotta burn these SAMs out. They are getting closer this time. It seems like. Yeah, these SAMs are already kind of burned out. I assume they'll be registered as hostile. They still aren't registered. They don't even know where they are after we turn tail. I suppose because again, with the they're actually decent at shooting these down, unfortunately. But I suppose without those hawks, which were probably externally loaded, that returns our kind of our stealth to us. So now even at this range, they can't see us. Unfortunately, they shot down. It looks like they shot down all of the hawks. That's fine, I guess. This was more of a fuck you than anything. Alright, so we'll... Did any of these guys get launched? No. Oh, you know what it was? They probably... Oh, I wonder if they model that. That would be really cool. If they only model... Because with the new electromagnetic launch system, they basically have to charge a capacitor from the nuclear reactor. And since the reactor was technically destroyed, they don't... they only had what would have had whatever power was in that capacitor. So they would have only been able to launch if they only had 2 catapults with their capacitors intact. That's all they would have been able to launch. Oh, it looks like they recovered the. Okay, that's gonna fuck up our. Now they're without the coverage by our AWACS. That's actually fucking up this attack. Outside of DLC range. Alright. So we'll override them. I suppose I could turn these guys' sensors on. Yeah, they'll see us, but that's fine. At least now these missiles can be properly directed. And who knows, that might actually hurt all these, hurt their ability to engage the missiles as well. Okay. DLC ray. Yeah, they aren't engaging anymore, which is surprising. I don't know if we ever ended up hitting that airbase or not. I wasn't keeping an eye on the message log, but unfortunately, these guys are all isolated and they're gonna miss. These guys at least are on the right track. Wow, are the F-35s actually fucking up their sensors? No, okay. It's just we're jammed, so we can't see shit. But they are still... They're still engaging these missiles, at least, and they still see all of these. That might change if we could fucking knock these guys out, but... They've got to be afterburning with how fast that fuel is being expended. I know I could just go into the doctrine and changes, but I don't feel like digging that far in right now. Oh, they're launching. All right. We have a launch. So it'll probably be out of fuel by the time it reaches the end of its data link and starts going active. But honestly, with how slow these guys are, like you can see, it's going Mach 0.09. So I don't think they'll be dodging these. Alright, all 3 are away. We have 1 in reserve, should 1 fail or something. These missiles are a bit more of a long shot, but do they even see them? That is the question. Yeah, they don't have a solid lock on these guys, so they can't fire. And they do see these missiles coming. Alright, this helicopter's trying to get away. He's up to a whopping Mach 0.11. Yeah, these guys aren't counting as being jammed. But even if all the jammers do is end up making him use more missiles, that's still kind of a win. Yeah, this guy's out of fuel. He's rapidly losing altitude, but he is pitched down, or he's rapidly losing speed, but he's pitched down, so that should hopefully help him reduce how fast he's losing speed. And of course, he's got data link corrections coming from the F-35s and their superior radars. Alright, he's coming, he's going active. Missed, really? Here we go. 30%. Holy shit. That's pretty low. Do these... They did not bring their gun for this mission. I suppose that makes sense. What are you? I don't suppose you're like Oh, I think that this is like a toad decoy. And then this is an expendable decoy. I don't suppose, yeah, no, they're all self-defense. Yeah, so these guys are probably going to be even worse. As far as their hit percentages. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Yeah, 23%. Good luck with that. This guy is still burning his rocket motor, so I really should have let it get closer. That makes me think I actually have the correct settings for these, because look at how easily they're burned out against helicopters at this range. There we go. That helicopter's gone. We can see how that adjusts the... doesn't significantly adjust things. But now, what we can do is turn them around and jam them. And now we can see stuff is getting through. Mostly because they ran out of the HQ-9. So at this point, I think they are kind of screwed. Yep, they are losing. They lost one destroyer. These guys are going for the carrier. Well, I wonder if these guys will have re-attack. It doesn't look like they're exercising their re-attack capability, but this guy's going to be out of his point defense soon. Is he using... Oh, he's still using a 30mm. Ooh, these guys are... Their 30 mils are actually pretty good, it looks like. But we still do have a whole nother set of missiles coming in. Uh-oh. I think they ran out in the ready magazine. I think we have a hit. Yeah, boy. Damage, major flooding. Only 6% damage, so not much in the way of systems. Aircraft actually aren't even that bad. Armor penetrated. I'm surprised it didn't do more damage, but... Okay, so what we can do is bring these guys down to loiter. Bring them down to high altitude. And basically, we can use them kind of as a replacement for the Growler. Yeah, the rest of our... I don't think the rest of our forces are getting on board. Actually, I'm going to pause here. I want 4 of these missiles going for the carrier. I want another 4 going for the cruiser. Let's see. Let's put 3 on the cruiser. And let's put 1 each on the Liu Yang. Actually, let's put 2 on the Liu Yang. And then... one on the AoE. And actually what I'm going to do is swap this one and this one. There we go. So now they'll be getting jammed from the F-35s, which should hopefully degrade their performance. They'll still see them coming, obviously, but... see, even at this close range, 20 miles out, they're still having a little bit of trouble locking on to the F-35s. There's some uncertainty range there. That's the value of stealth. And they're jamming, of course. Alright, so now you can see their active radar seekers are coming on. He's got 8 bursts of his 30 mil left. They're launching the replacement helicopter. The 50 bursts of the 30 millimeter left in the Shandong cruiser. Has HQ-10s left, which they could use for self-defense. Likewise, the supply ship has a bunch of 30 millimeter available. We can see the missiles starting to spread out now. We'll see how effective they are with the degraded radar. Alright. You guys need to drop down to medium altitude here, loiter. Want to reduce distance as much as possible and make these jammers as effective as possible. Boom, hit. Boom, hit. Yeah, now you can see their the accuracy on their 30 mils isn't as great as it used to be. Even with the helicopter right here that's probably got radar on. Alright, they got fire and flooding. We got 3 missiles on the Xian Yang. He managed to shoot down one of the incoming missiles. Alright, that's a second destroyer down. He should be going for the supply ship. Boom. 47%. Boom, another hit on the Shandong, which is weathering these really fucking well, actually. Oh, he managed to knock out that one. Alright, so we'll let the F-35s go back now. RTB. Alright, so I suppose that's it. If we left this running, eventually, like the Xiang here, I will boost the time compression. This fire and flooding can get out of control and eventually sink the ship. We can see it's mostly still operational, surprisingly. Bow nose is damaged, and some of their air pads are damaged. She did lose most of her aircraft, though. She's got two helicopters left. Or, oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry. Air damage control. That cruiser weathered it well, but she only took a single hit. All right. Yeah, even the carrier, she took like 3 hits, so I'm kind of surprised. And she has all her aircraft left. That's another surprise. I don't know, maybe the warheads on the Chinese missiles were bigger. Maybe maybe they just happened to hit a better area. I don't know. But still, this cruiser's probably out of the fight. Is there anything that says here? Fire minor flooding, minor fire, major flooding, and she's got minor fire, major flooding. So if they can't get the flooding out of control, they will sink. But that can take a very long time. Actually, if we look into the U.S. Navy here, if we go to her damage control report, no fire, no flooding. So they got everything under control. I wish there was a unit message log. Here we go. Weaponry damage. Oh, you know what? Because I was switching sides, so it's only going to show it for since I switched over. I was going to say it'd be nice to see how many impacts, because I think she took 2 or 3 missiles, and she's not she's not doing as well as the Chinese carrier. But I suppose she's packed to the brim with aircraft, so if one of those just happened to penetrate the hangar, and I think one did, and that's why like all the aircraft below deck were destroyed. I think that's basically what happened there, and why her damage is so severe in comparison to the Chinese. If I really wanted to, I could move these guys in position and attack with torpedoes. I'm not going to play the scenario out that far. I do just want to go an hour or two and see if the how they handle the fire and flooding. And you will see, I believe, these damage values pick up too. Okay, so she got the fire under control. And if they were smart, ooh, her fire has grown, I think. Major fire, major flooding. So you'll see their damage ticking up. The cruiser's probably salvageable, but if they don't get the fire under control on the carrier, which is going to be a huge issue with all those aircraft and munitions, then she's toast. Vampire. Oh, hey, look, they got some of their our support planes finally arrived. So they're actually able to get exact positions on them. How nice. Gotta love to see that lack of coordination between the PLAAF and the PLAN. Alright, that fire... Looks like that fire might have gotten a little bit under control. They're getting the flooding under control a little bit more. That or the fire's growing. It's a little hard to tell at this point. But, yeah, you guys should probably just run away at this point. Head back for safer shores. Play this out until the carrier either gets its stuff under control or sinks. They've still got flooding, but I think they're... Oh, she's still taking damage. Her damage is still ticking. Oh, her fire is out of control. Severe. If it hits... Oh, that's what, the carrier battle group destroyed one of the UAVs, I think. Yep. Geez, thanks. I see your SM6s work. Should have used them earlier, but, you know. I think we could fix that either with player intervention or lengthening their engagement range against missiles. Alright, you'll notice her health bar is ticked into the yellow now. And she's taking damage faster. So it looks like they're failing to get that fire under control. Meanwhile, you can see, at least in the cruiser, they've contained the flooding. It's down the minor. She's still taking a little bit of damage, but she'll probably be able to finish pumping out that water. But she's still looking at a couple months in dry dock. She's got a lot of weapons, too. They're still fully loaded, and if that fire reaches the magazines, whew, boy. Damage component back online, damage component back online. Oh, hey, we did end up hitting that, Oh, there she goes. Let me pop out this message log if it'll let me. There we go. So the cruiser is back to major flooding. The Shandong is burning up, so it did reach conflagration. And now you can see all of our systems. The magazine probably detonated, which means all her aircraft are gone. So they might not be able to get that flooding under control. I was going to write it off, but if they have a failure to get the flooding under control, that could be a big issue. I think they'll get it under control, though. So, we'll keep an eye on it. I'm not optimistic. Okay, it's going as fast as it can. So keep in mind that, you know, hours are passing here pretty much. Probably at least 2 to 3 hours before the Shandong sunk. If this guy ends up going under, it could be another 2 to 3 hours. No fire, major flooding, severe, and capsizing. Okay, so once it reaches that conflagration state, that's basically an instant kill. So, that's good to know. Judging by how the damage is ticking up here, it looks like they have not been able to isolate the flooding, and it's still getting into more compartments. Honestly, if they were smart, they'd detach her. Here, unassigned unit. And I'll stop. There we go. Now you'll notice that she's getting her flooding under control. Oh, I suppose these... Are they shooting missiles at the Super Frelins now? That'd be kind of funny. Yeah, she's still taking more damage, but they should be able to stop the flooding now. God, our Are we actually going to be close? No, we are nowhere near close enough, but wow, she's actually going to hit like 60% damage, which is funny that because the damage number is just structural, but you'll notice how all of her systems are still like operational, with the exception of the bullnose, which I think is a sonar, and her air facilities, which kind of work. Let's see here. Yep, sonar. I was right. Okay, yeah, they're. I think they're. Yep. So they're shooting SM6s at the helicopters. That's kind of amusing. Let's see here. Okay, it looks like she got her flooding under control. So I think this is where we'll bring this experiment to an end. And if we look at the losses and expenditures here, we see the U.S. Navy losses are indeed heavy. One destroyer, probably 3/4 of a carrier air wing, and obviously severe damage to the aircraft carrier that'll probably put her out of action for years. And they've expended a lot of missiles, but the Chinese haven't come away clean either. Excuse me, they have lost an entire carrier air wing, a couple of of support craft, their helicopters and that soaring dragon UAV. But they've also lost 8 fast attack craft, 2 destroyers, 2 frigates, and they lost a carrier, and they have severe damage to a cruiser that's probably going to keep that cruiser out of the fight for at least a year. So all in all, this is probably a draw, give or take. Obviously, some of the losses are a little unbalanced here, but honestly, the American carrier group came away pretty well considering how many missiles were launched at it. And again, I think it would have survived this wave completely if they had used their SM6 missiles better. Instead, they kind of let themselves get overwhelmed with an ESSM range. So I think there's going to be some updates there um, to the doctrine. And then maybe we could try this again and see. But all in all, I think this is generally a good first step to the scenario. Obviously, we got to get the whole air component working. We still need to fix up some of the scripting errors and the mission errors and the operation errors and the planner errors with getting this working. But this scenario is finally starting to come together. So I think this video has gone on for probably like 2.5 hours now, which is my bad. I was only planning on like a 30-minute video, but things happen. So I think we're going to leave things there today. So with that, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.